So hello, welcome Jerca back to Budapest and to Bakelit Multi-Art Center.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, how many years have you been here?
We were here 2 years ago, before the really first hard lockdown of Corona. Yeah.
And the piece what we will see tonight in Bakelit Multi-Art Center, it's a cooperation, and you have been here for a residency period, and you also organized a workshop with invited participants.
Yes.
How was it?
Really nice, actually. I think the part of Be SpectACTive that it's really cool, it's exactly this opportunity to be on different residencies and all these workshops, and it was really nice to see people, also non-professional dancers, really coming here to Bakelit, which is quite far from the city center, and just co-create the piece with me, have their feedback, instant feedback, see their reactions, and just share, like see what they're into, see what I'm into, and where can we meet somewhere in the middle, so we all feel comfortable. So, yes.
And was it a kind of process how you developed the piece? Like I have seen in the announcement and brochure and PR material, there were different group of people who you worked with. How did the idea come?
The idea came from a really real situation of Veronica getting injured, and she couldn't join one of the performances that we had in Slovenia. Was just a work in progress showing at that time of our duet. She couldn't join us, and then we thought to just try, still do it, and include the audience and invite them to be Veronica for me, so the piece can work as a duet. So the original idea comes from that. And then when we were selected for Be SpectACTive, then the really nice research period started, because we went to Gothenburg and we also went to Dublin, and there was like these 2 weeks residences with different people, different ages of people, and the research process was like this, that I would lead the workshop, have showings for them, they would also get interviews, and we would just try out different scenes, different solutions to the piece. And for me it was really important to find what would make them comfortable to be Veronica, and how could the experience of being on stage be as comfortable and a nice experience. Yeah, how can we reach that, like in a performance while it is happening? So
yes. If I'm right, now as you kind of finish the piece and you tour with the piece, the workshop itself is not part of the piece, but you include and invite the spectators on stage.
Yes.
And how did this workshop situation inspired the now set piece?
set yeah piece. It kind of, I would say, it has a structure, but then we always need to react on people and how they react, so it's a set but unset in a way. The movement parts are set, but it's very open, and I really need to react on how people react. But the way the workshops inspired the piece right now was really going through my ideas, and then seeing the reaction of the audience. And I think what we figured out in the workshops is that the stage needs to be like a very warm, comfortable place for them to join. We also thought that asking them to be Veronica makes it quite easy, because they are not themselves, but they are becoming Veronica. And let's say it's quite free, but also very structured, because they kind of also follow my lead. So also, yeah, proposing and they kind of taking the propositions makes the piece run in the way it was, the original version. So yes, so I would say really we took the reactions, we took the comments, and maybe it's important for me to say that I don't see the piece as a workshop now, so it's not that people are on stage and we have a workshop, open structure, but it really is a performance where they are becoming Veronica for me. So
and you were quite often mentioning we.
We.
Can you tell more about your cooperative partners?
Sure.
Who are the we?
So the we are actually every and each single person that participated in the workshops. So this is the we, and the people then with me on stage. This is the we. But for the piece, so the dramaturg was Urša Adamić. Then Janko Oven is with me creating the light, and he's also, I would say, quite a big part of the piece. Katja Somrak is the creative producer of the piece. Andrej Vrhovnik did the costume for me and for Veronica. Yes, I think I mentioned everyone. And the music, Mateusz Kolinc made the music, which had to quite be open, so we could like bring it up and bring it back down depending on how people react. So and I being a part of Be SpectACTive is really nice because we got all these residencies and the opportunity to work with the participants. So it's really, good. So the piece is produced, but this I guess it's quite obvious by Dance Theater Ljubljana for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning them as well.
Of course.
Do you have any memory experience about your participants, spectators, that they were very different or very much similar? How you were planning the scene, or how they reacted in different countries? You mentioned you traveled to different countries. Did you have any differences or similarities which you can mention?
In some countries, I would say people are maybe more open and more comfortable with the touch, I would say, and also more comfortable with maybe proposing, where in some other countries maybe they like to follow more, and it really took longer to warm up together and to really be able to touch and to express the wishes or opinions. In Dublin, I had one lady that would comment everything very loud immediately, which was a really good experience, because then how to explain in the moment that she is Veronica, so she kind of has to be a part of the piece in this way. Was really nice to see the different reactions, and also to mention when you participated was also very good for me and for the piece to see how would it be if the Veronica would obey and just not follow the piece at all. So it was also a very good experience, I think, to see what's also possible and then how to handle this situation so the performance can proceed. So yes, I think this would be the two strongest ones, but normally, like, then after the workshop, people would like to hug. Everyone is very open, kind of happy to leave. We just moved together, their propositions were taken and considered. So I think in most of the workshops we also managed to create this unity, like a good group dynamic, and just have a good time was also important for me.
Can we say it's also possible if someone will watch this video interview and would like to invite you to perform the piece, that you combine it again with the workshop situation?
Totally, yes.
How should we imagine the plans? How can you perform this?
I think it would be an interesting thing to have the workshops back, maybe also to refresh. Would be very interesting to have this input again. Maybe then the plan would be that we have a workshop in the morning and then we perform in the evening, where they're actually I would not do a run for them because they will experience it in the evening, but maybe just do some principles, some tools that we use for the performance. So it's kind of a warm-up for the actual performance then, yeah.
And do you have any wish to continue to make pieces which is dealing with the activity of the spectators, or you might have done anything like this, or it was more like a good refreshment for your dancer and choreographer career, but this is not your way?
I would say it's really my way, because already before Together All Alone I worked with some choreographers that very actively use audience or audience participation, so it's not new to me, let's say, but Together All Alone it's for sure a different way, because it's totally my and Johannes' way. So yes, and I am still continuing to work with these same choreographers, and I also think in my pieces I like to use participation. But I think it's also with me growing as a dancer and choreographer, it's changing. Like the level of participation, how I approach it, maybe how aggressive or how subtle it is, it changes. But I'm very much interested in this topic and to see how the audience can be active and have a full experience, like really full. And I'm still very curious if more participatory performances would create more audience in general, like if it would attract more people, which is maybe a bit risky, because maybe not. Like a lot of people say, if I want to come and watch the performance, I watch it and leave me alone. But maybe to have an experience being on stage, and if it's nice, might bring you back to the theater again. I think.
Do you think it's a special task what dance pieces, dance workers should carry on their shoulders, like to involve the people back to the theaters and involve them also on stage, or like to get in a playful situation? Is it something what refreshes the dance world?
I think so, yes. I in my opinion, right now, contemporary dance is in some levels struggling with having audience, so I think we should be conscious about these things, and we should definitely think of it and actively do something about it. If it's on the choreographer only and on a dancer only to do this, not only. I think it's more about the whole structure, also the institutions that stand behind us. But sure, it at the end, the work that it stands on the stage, it's what they see. So it's sure important, to think.
So I'm crossing my fingers for a good audience for tonight and for the future. Can you tell us some words? What are your plans in the future, in the next season maybe?
In the next season, I'm involved in 2 short pieces by Silk Fluge and Potporus. It's called The Big Five. I'm teaching at the Bruckner University in Linz, because I'm right now living in Vienna. I will create one duet that will be mine and will be created together with Anna Posarnik. It's called Hey Hi. This is for the next year. And we get to travel a little bit with Together All Alone, which is wonderful to see also other places and visit other partners. Yes, some touring of the pieces that happened before Corona and fell asleep for the time of Corona, and now they're kind of awake again. Just exploring, and let's see where life takes me.
I wish you good luck, and thank you for this short interview, and let's surprise us, and I hope your spectators will like your piece as well. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.